Friday Night at Freddy's was, probably still is, an internet sensation. Over a decade ago, there was this indie video game that popped up out of nowhere by a band named Scott Cawthon or something. And it was basically, you're sitting in front of a desk, you're looking at a bunch of security cameras, you're at this 80s pizza place with Chuck E. Cheese animatronics, but they come to life at night. It's like Night at the Museum, but you're at night at the Friday Night at Freddy's place. And you have to look at the cameras because it's like when you look at them, they have to freeze. They don't move when you're looking at them, but when you're not looking at them, they'll move. And eventually they will try to get into your security office to give you a big old jump scare, and then the game over. So you gotta last 5 nights at Freddy's to win the game. And apparently there was actually a story that was going on through all these games. Like they made a sequel, Friday 2, Friday Night 3, Friday 4, and all that stuff. There was a story that was going on. There was a big story in the background being built on with theories and all that stuff. And Matt Pat with the game theories and the game theory people, they came up with all sorts of stories and lore. And Scott Cawthon's going like, you're thinking about this a lot harder than I would, but I like it. I like what you're doing. I'm gonna put some more of that in here. And so he develops a story here, and then they make books, and then they make comics, and then and now they're doing movies. They made 2 movies with killer animatronics before they did the Friday Night at Freddy's. And the first one was the Banana Splits. Do you remember the Banana Splits? If you remember the Banana Splits, you don't need to verify your age on YouTube. You're ancient. I remember the Banana Splits. I watched the Banana Splits on cable a long time ago. And they're pretty iconic little suits. They were people in suits. They weren't animatronics, though. But in the movie, the Banana Splits, they were animatronics, and they were killer animatronics. And very gory, very R-rated Banana Splits movie. So if you're looking for animatronic kills, watch the Banana Splits. That has the kills for you. Good for you. Friday Night at Freddy's is PG-13. This is a franchise for children based off an 80s to 90s franchise of restaurants like Chuck E. Cheese that appeals to people in their 30s and 40s. I know, it doesn't make sense. I remember Chuck E. Cheese. I had my 5th birthday at a Chuck E. Cheese. I don't remember it, but I have pictures of it. I saw the animatronics of the band. They were playing in the Chuck E. Cheese band and all that. I remember this. I don't remember this, but I have pictures. I remember seeing the pictures. I remember Chuck E. Cheese, and that's what made me nostalgic to give this a look. That apparently this is it's big, huge for the younger generation. They love this stuff. They live for it. And I'm like, how did that happen? How did a thing that's supposed to be nostalgic to us crusty adults end up being a children's franchise? It's like, it don't work. At least it doesn't make sense to me, at any rate. It doesn't make sense to me. That's kind of what the Banana Splits movie works more for me than the Friday Night at Freddy's, because Banana Splits is R-rated. Anybody who even knows what the Banana Splits are old. So we can all watch it. We're all adults here at the Banana Splits show. And then they made another one, Willy's Wonderland. I reviewed that on this channel. It's one of my older ones, but I absolutely love that movie. That movie gets poo-pooed a lot because the animatronics get destroyed, but that's the best part. Nick Cage just destroys these animatronics. They're cursed animatronics. It's like making fun of Friday Night at Freddy's. It's making fun of this franchise. I love Willy's Wonderland. Willy's Wonderland is the most entertaining of the 3. So let's recap here. The Banana Splits has the best kills. Willy's Wonderland is the most entertaining. And Friday Night at Freddy's has the best story. There's actually a heart-wrenching, heartfelt story in this movie that's had a decade to build on, to build into whatever we got here. Now, do they show everything off perfectly? No. There are quite a few plot holes, but you have to realize this is fantasy, so a lot of these things you just have to write off and say, yeah, don't worry about that part, don't think about that part. You know, I made a bit about it, I made a joke about it. There's this one scene where the cop lady is explaining to the main character, Josh Hutcherson, or whatever the guy's name is, the guy who went to the center of the earth with Rick O'Connell, who then went to a mysterious island with The Rock. That Josh Hutcherson, whatever the guy's name is. You know, him, he's an adult now and all that stuff. And he's being explained to by the cop lady, who is the daughter of William Afton, played by Lillard. And she's saying how the cops went to Friday Night at Freddy's place to scour it looking for missing kids, and they didn't find anything because Afton hid the bodies in the animatronics. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, you do realize that bodies smell, corpses smell. Leave them alone for a while, and they will smell. They will smell foul and horrible. You'll be able to smell a rat's sty as soon as you enter this building. You know, and it's like, that's a pretty big glaring plot hole. And maybe the cops who scoured this place, they had anosmia. Maybe they had anosmia. They couldn't smell. They couldn't smell the decaying dead bodies. Or maybe William Afton was a great taxidermist. He got rid of all the smelly parts of the body, all the guts and the goo and all that stuff, and he melted that in acid, but put the rest, like the bones and all that stuff, after they no longer smelled. He put that in the animatronics and all that stuff, and now the animatronics don't smell, because Afton was very big on that stuff. Maybe that's what happened, but they don't add that in. It's because you're not supposed to think about that. It's the type of detail that most people wouldn't worry about or think about, but it's something that I thought about, and I'm like, you know, that's kind of a big glaring thing. Bodies smell. It was like, well, there you go. They don't smell in this universe, and that's how we write it off. They don't smell in this universe. They're just there, you know. And but it is a good story. It really is. It's a very heartfelt story about this dude who's trying to be a good big brother to his kid sister, and he lost his a younger brother when he was a kid to a kidnapper dude who ends up being William Afton, and William Afton recognizes this guy and says, "Wow, that's crazy how you came to me for all that stuff. So I'm gonna, hey, would you like to be a night guard at my defunct pizzeria? Would you like to be a night guard there? Don't worry, just take a look at the place, look after it, you'll be fine." And yeah, the animatronics aren't exactly super killer in this, and it's not memeable. It's not a meme-worthy movie. They're trying to take this seriously, so the animatronics aren't gonna be meme-killing people like the Banana Splits did. So if you want kills like that, you have to watch the Banana Splits. The Banana Splits is amazing. Go watch it like crazy. It's insane. It's an insane movie. It is fantastic. But these guys are possessed by the spirits of the kidnapped children, so they're going to be all angry about that. And eventually, the main character, Josh Hutcherson's kid sister, draws a picture of William Afton as the killer bunny who killed all the kids. She puts that picture on the wall, the Freddy Fazbear wall of all the drawings. And somehow that gets all of the spirits to realize that they were killed by Afton, so they turn on Afton. And then Josh Hutcherson escapes with his kid sister and the cop lady, and everybody lives happily ever after until they make a sequel. And they're probably definitely going to make a sequel. This is Friday Night at Freddy's. It's going to have a sequel. It's inevitable. They're going to do it. I wasn't a big fan of the games. I didn't play any of them. I didn't read any of the books. You know, it's just But I am nostalgic for Chuck E. Cheese. I am nostalgic for this type of thing. I loved the Banana Splits. I loved Willy's Wonderland. And I did like the heartfelt story in this. It's okay.